actually visiting my big brother Puff's boat. Yeah. So I was on his boat at that time.
Maintained star power, and in the last 5 years, that shifted much more to a friendship model. Like, people support artists that they
been entrepreneurship, you know?
Yep.
And to be able to go back to New York and open up 3 schools.
Diddy's Yacht, famous for its wild parties with stars like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Rihanna, just became the center of a major FBI raid. Whatever they found could change everything. Diddy's yacht, the Mariah, is as luxe as it gets, a $65 million masterpiece built by the top yacht maker CRN Ancona back in 2008. But this isn't just any yacht, it's practically a floating VIP lounge. The Mariah has hosted some of the most unforgettable parties with star-studded guest lists that have included icons like Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Rihanna. It's no wonder people say if you get an invite, you're in for a night of pure over-the-top luxury. One of the yacht's most iconic moments was Diddy's unforgivable fragrance dinner at Saint-Tropez. The whole vibe was absolutely extravagant. Diddy was the ultimate host, charming everyone and keeping the night lively with his effortless style. But as iconic as it all sounds, there's a twist that keeps the Mariah's parties in the headlines. Before each gathering, Diddy has a ritual that might surprise you. He collects everyone's phones. There's actually no video of him personally doing it, making sure each guest hands over their device before the night kicks off. The reason? Opinions are split. Some say he's doing everyone a favor by encouraging them to stay present and enjoy the night without the constant pull of social media. Just think about it, a night of pure fun without anyone snapping or posting every 5 seconds. In today's world, that's refreshing. Others, though, think it's about control. Diddy's always been a high-profile figure with his fair share of controversies, and some believe collecting phones is his way of making sure no unplanned footage slips out. After all, when you're in the spotlight, protecting your image is key, so maybe Diddy's just being cautious and making sure the only stories that get told are the ones he wants out there. One New Year's Eve party back in 2008, though, took a bit of a darker turn. Diddy hosted a huge bash at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami, drawing in stars like Jamie Foxx and Tyrese Gibson. Model Joe Eskridge got invited by a friend and walked into what seemed like a dream night, surrounded by celebs and living it up. But after a few drinks, she started feeling strange, almost like she wasn't herself. Her sister noticed something was off, and before she knew it, Eskridge found herself clashing with security. Things escalated and she ended up being knocked unconscious by a flashlight during the chaos. When she came to, Eskridge felt embarrassed and initially blamed herself for drinking too much. But over time, she began to wonder if there was more to it. She eventually quit drinking for a whole decade, still shaken by the experience. Her story has made people take a second look at what goes on at these high-profile events, casting a little bit of doubt over the luxury and glitz we all see from the outside. And Eskridge isn't the only one with tales of strange moments at Diddy's parties. Others have come forward with their own experiences, sparking theories that Diddy's strict phone policy might be about more than just privacy. With a guest list that's featured everyone from Justin Bieber to Beyonce, these whispers add an extra layer of intrigue to his legendary gatherings. Some stars admit they've been to Diddy's famous white parties, but many try to keep a safe distance from the more controversial rumors. Now, one of Diddy's most unforgettable parties went down in Miami in 2004 on his yacht, Mariah. This party had a twist. Food was reportedly served off the bodies of barely dressed models, making waves of fascination and a little shock among guests. Big names like Will Smith and Bruce Willis were there, adding a whole new level of glam to the scene. Diddy's events have always been a mix of luxury and a bit of chaos, a formula he's fine-tuned over the years. But parties like this one reveal an interesting blend of attraction and intrigue, even if they raise a few eyebrows. Diddy's parties are known for their wild vibe and A-list guest lists. Stars like Kate Beckinsale hit up his Bet Lifetime Achievement Bash in 2022 and later joined him for his birthday in London that same year. Lindsay Lohan She's also been spotted multiple times, from a private yacht party at Cannes in 2008 to his iconic white party in 2009. With guests like this, Diddy's events are never short on Hollywood drama, keeping fans wondering what really goes down behind the scenes. Then there's Leonardo DiCaprio, whose name gets thrown around in Diddy's circle. DiCaprio's rep has brushed off rumors of any deep involvement, but he's been seen at a few of these bashes. And Diddy himself even said Leo was his #1 invite in an interview, which only stirs up more buzz. These connections hint at how intertwined the lives of Hollywood's elite truly are. Even David Beckham has a history with Diddy. They've reminisced about meeting years back at one of his gatherings, showing that these friendships in the entertainment world run deep. Behind the glamour though, Diddy's parties have drawn some serious attention lately. Music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit that claims certain events weren't all that innocent. He alleges that some questionable activities were being recorded without anyone's knowledge, with federal agents even raiding Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami properties as part of the investigation. These stories have painted a darker side to Diddy's parties. Jones claims Diddy had an assistant who, he says, took on a role similar to that of Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's infamous sidekick. This comparison has added weight to the suspicions around Diddy's parties, suggesting a network of people working together to pull off events that may have crossed the line. In Jones's suit, he claims that there are hundreds of hours of recordings from Diddy's properties and yacht. These tapes allegedly involve some uncomfortable incidents, with rumors of other big names, rappers and an R&B singer being involved in an inappropriate conduct with underage guests. All this has understandably sparked major concern and speculation. These legal issues have cast a shadow over Diddy's otherwise glitzy reputation. Right before the lawsuit hit, he'd been riding high, getting a key to New York City and dropping a much-anticipated album. Now with these allegations, there's a clear gap between the flashy, successful public figure and the private life that's come under fire. This shift shows how quickly public opinion can turn, especially when fame clashes with serious accusations. Brands and collaborators are keeping their distance, and fans are left wondering what's next as Diddy's reputation hangs in the balance. Now in the middle of all these, there enters Jaguar Wright, a singer who's known for speaking her mind. She added fuel to the fire with her own bold claims about Diddy, making the situation even more dramatic.
Truth, you know, when they court them with the record deals and the contracts and the chains and the cars and the girls, and I wish they would tell them the truth. Listen to me. All you gotta do is let these 8 fuck the dog shit out of you tonight. I'll get all that for you tomorrow. Cause that's what's gonna happen. Like, why can't you be up front? You know?
I didn't believe this until I watched a Nickelodeon documentary where the kids were, you know, basically, I don't want to say groomed, but they were technically assaulted based on saying, hey, here's the contract. They don't tell us up front, but they say, oh yeah, this guy is gay, but he's touchy-feely. They warn you. And on one of the episodes where a father said,
I just want to let you know, before you do this scene, this man is a predator. Okay? If you see something, say something, okay?
Wright took aim at Diddy, accusing him of being at the center of some seriously shady activities in the music industry. According to her, Diddy isn't your average mogul, he's connected to a hidden world of dark secrets. Wright has claimed that there are secret tapes, hidden cameras, and some bizarre behavior happening at parties that most people wouldn't believe. One of the wildest claims she makes is that Diddy's assistant acted like Ghislaine Maxwell, known for her notorious connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Wright suggests that this assistant was the mastermind behind a lot of the controversial stuff happening in Diddy's world. With such explosive statements, people are left wondering whether there's any truth to her accusations or if they're just ramblings of someone known for being outspoken. But Wright's accusations don't stop with Diddy. She also pointed fingers at big stars like Jay-Z and Beyonce, suggesting that they're not as squeaky clean as they seem. She accuses Jay-Z of manipulating situations, hinting at a darker side to his public image. Wright even claims to have contacts willing to testify against the famous couple, raising even more eyebrows. This just adds layers to the already complicated drama, making fans question what else might be lurking behind the scenes in the lives of these high-profile figures. You'd think that with all these serious allegations, some of the accused would rush to defend themselves in court. However, Wright has faced very little legal pushback. Dame Dash, another notable figure in the music world, has criticized celebrities for staying silent rather than confronting Wright's claims head-on. This silence has led some fans to speculate that perhaps the stars are laying low to avoid bringing more attention to her accusations. When it comes to public opinion, it's a mixed bag. Some fans rally behind Wright, viewing her as a brave whistleblower. They believe she's shining a light on issues that have long been swept under the rug in the music industry. To them, her willingness to speak out is crucial, especially when so many others remain silent. On the flip side, there are plenty of skeptics. Critics argue that Wright may have her own reasons for speaking out, possibly seeking attention after her own music career has faded from the spotlight. With no major legal actions being taken against the stars she's accused, many people are waiting for more concrete proof before fully backing her claims. The media's take on artist Wright's claims also feels like a mixed bag. Some outlets like Uncensored have given Jaguar Wright a platform to share her story, portraying her as a fearless warrior against the long-standing issues artists face. But not all media outlets are on the same page.
Their good friend who
Bilal told me, Jada, he told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child. Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
Yeah, in that interview, he said a lot. He said a lot.
He said everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he Bashir and Mills, and you know it, Bilal. Now I don't give no how far in the desert you run. You'll go from a Philly to a sand, but they'll still get you.
Some take a more cautious approach, acknowledging the weight of Wright's claims while stressing the need for solid evidence. They focus on being responsible, avoiding quick conclusions that could lead to misinformation and harm other people's reputations. This careful stance is important, especially for serious allegations like Wright's. In the entertainment world, there's often a mix of support and skepticism when such allegations pop up. Many artists rally behind Wright, recognizing the real issues of exploitation that many face in the industry. These voices resonate with broader concerns about how women, in particular, are treated in this competitive space. They understand how tough it is to prove such claims, but recognize that Wright's story fits into a larger narrative of industry misconduct. Now coming back to Diddy. Diddy finds himself at the center of over 120 serious allegations of misconduct that stretch back more than 2 decades. These accusations involve a mix of individuals, including minors at the time, painting a troubling picture of the music mogul. Some of the claims are linked to those infamous parties he used to throw in the Hamptons, which were once the talk of the town but are now tainted by these serious accusations. Currently, Diddy is in custody at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center as he awaits trial in May 2025. His legal team has tried to argue for his release, citing poor prison conditions and pointing out that he isn't a flight risk, but so far, those requests have been denied. It's a stark contrast from his former life of celebrity-filled events and exclusive parties.
So I think the most important thing, even more important than the passport, is that Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th. As soon as we realized that this indictment was going to be coming down in a matter of weeks, maybe months, but sometime soon, Mr. Combs got on a plane, left his home in Florida, flew to New York. I called the prosecutors myself. I said, Mr. Combs is in New York. Do you want to know where he is? If you want to know where he is, I'll tell you where he is, but he wants to surrender. He's here to surrender. They didn't want him to surrender because if he surrenders, they don't get to tell the judge that he's a flight risk and he's a danger. Because who, as a danger and a flight risk, would fly to New York and surrender? So they didn't want him to surrender.
So since September 5th, you had known, you expected it was likely he was going to formally face charges.
So I really knew he was formally going to face charges on March 25th, the day of the searches. When Homeland Security searched his Los Angeles home, his Miami home, and his airplane, I knew that day by looking at the search warrants. I mean, I've been doing this for a while. This is not my first or 100th rodeo, that this was going to come as a matter of time.
The trial promises to be intense, with all the charges, recordings, and potential witnesses coming into play. experts believe that civil lawsuits, especially Jones's evidence, could significantly impact the criminal case as they lay out the details that may shape the outcome. Sure, Diddy is currently facing a lot of legal issues, but it's not just the court battles that are weighing on him. As a huge celebrity who's lived a life of luxury and fame, dealing with serious charges is a heavy burden. There's been talk about his mental health, especially with all the stress he's under. A key moment in the story happened when Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura accused him of misconduct during their relationship. While they settled this civil lawsuit quietly, it led others to come forward with their own stories, some pretty intense. For instance, one guy says that he was abused by Combs when he was just 16 at one of those fancy parties, and another person claims something happened in a Manhattan hotel room back in 2004. The fallout from these allegations is no joke. Combs is dealing with more than just civil lawsuits. He's also facing serious criminal charges, including trafficking and transporting people for illegal purposes. The claims suggest that he used his power and influence to take advantage of vulnerable individuals, allegedly using substances to incapacitate them, which made it easier for him to act. As these serious allegations keep coming to light, Combs has been denied bail twice, landing him in the MDC in Brooklyn. Reports say that the conditions at the detention center are pretty grim, with overcrowding and not so great medical care, which paints a pretty rough picture of his current reality.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers.
Combs' legal team has criticized these conditions, arguing they're unsuitable for someone awaiting trial. Despite all this, Combs insists he's innocent and is gearing up to face the serious charges looming over him. These legal battles are a massive threat to Combs' career and reputation, which have taken a huge hit from these allegations. Once seen as untouchable in the music industry, he now risks losing everything he's built over the years. As the trial date approaches, set for May 5th, 2025, the stakes couldn't be higher, not just for Combs, but for the entire entertainment industry as a whole. A conviction could lead to a lengthy prison sentence, possibly even life behind bars, for someone who's played a big role in hip-hop and business for years. With all this buzz, other celebrities like Will Smith have found themselves swept up in the conversation. Rumors have swirled about Smith's connections to Diddy's infamous parties, with his name popping up in discussions about questionable activities. As social media lights up with old interviews and photos, people are left wondering what really went down behind closed doors. Will Smith and Diddy have been good friends since the 1990s, often hitting up the party scene together as they made their mark in Hollywood.
Speaking of
This
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome. You were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I No,
It's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that? Nah.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. What is this?
They've always had each other's backs in the spotlight, but now Diddy's facing some serious legal issues. Things are a bit tricky with that. And with all of the buzz about Smith's connections to those parties, people are wondering how this might impact his image. The future for both guys is still a bit of a mystery, leaving everyone curious about what's next. What do you think? Do drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe for more such content. We'll be back soon with another one. See ya then.